Hi, welcome to City Country 6 Podcast. This is where you get to hear inside conversations between city and country about life, kids, womanhood, culture, black southern things. Eavesdrop in on our phone conversations to laugh, cry, amen, disagree, and agree with your bi-weekly dose of what did I just listen to? Let's listen in on this week's most recent phone call of differences.
Hello.
Hey girl, hey.
Hi.
How you be?
Sleepy, but I'm good. How are you?
When are you not sleepy?
Okay, when?
I'm
I thought
asking
I thought
you.
about the answer and I didn't have one, so I thought I'd ask. I thought it was a trick question or something when I realized I didn't
I am not.
have an answer. I tried to come up with something. I didn't have the answer.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand you sometimes. Specifically asked you a question and you was like, well, I ain't got a smart answer, so guess what?
I
I'm
don't
just
know
not gonna
the answer.
answer.
I just don't know the answer to that question. When am I not sleepy? Rarely. That's an answer.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I should have
Anyway.
put that on my bucket list of things. I'm gonna go to sleep.
That one would never get marked off. Don't even set yourself up. We were
Gosh,
putting things on the list that we was a challenge, but could
this
still
this
be
this is
attainable.
this is fulfilling the requirement. It is a challenge. Technically, it's attainable. It
Technically
used
attainable.
okay. Well, I'm sorry. I can go down a rabbit hole with that. I
No.
used to go to sleep. I used to go to sleep.
When?
Like I was doing really good for let's see the months of I would say the months of August and September. It was like lights out at 10 p.m.
Okay.
I did
What
really well.
what happened?
October happened.
The ghouls got you? They came up
I don't know. I
like what
guess
happened?
the Halloween sleepy monsters. They just didn't let me go to bed. It just I don't know. I got busy with work and yeah, that was it. I would get busy. My days would just not go the way I planned. So like, have you ever had a day where you're like there are like some let me see what do you call it like I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the word. That's how tired I am. I'm trying to think of the word productivity. That's what I was going to say.
Wow.
I don't like a lot of podcasts, like just random ones, but anything on productivity, I love to listen to, or I like to like read about productivity hacks, things like that. And so one major one is more like you can have a running list of to dos, but just find 3 to 5 things in your day that you want to get accomplished. So out of all the things you have to do, it's kind of like a wish list. Like these are the things I'm just going to focus on today. And even if I pick 3 to 5, or even if I just do three, things will pop up throughout the day, and I can't even get those 3 things done
Mm.
because fires will pop up, and you can't not put out a fire.
I mean,
So you have to, it
technically.
takes precedence, and so you have to handle that. And so I can literally go 8 hours in a day, and I have not done a single thing on my list of things that needed to get done.
Mm.
So what do? You have options. It can roll over to the following day,
Mm-hmm.
or you can stay up and get it done.
Mm.
And sometimes things can roll over, but other things are on deadlines. And so you don't have an option. It still has to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And therein lies the problem. So that's the long answer to your question.
Why you
What
don't
happened in
sleep
October? There you go.
in October
Because
just kept happening.
yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was Halloween. Like it was just one of those lots of fires would pop up during the workday. in the month of October.
Mm. I wonder
Yeah.
because it's your line of work and just people are settling in and that tends to make fires pop up. It's almost
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say it could be a fire season.
yeah, because dry air, dry, dead things. People,
Literally and figuratively.
yeah.
Okay. You
I
now you're
mean,
getting deep.
I'm just saying,
Getting
I can
real
get on that
deep.
rabbit hole too. I was just wondering, why you never sleep, but I
Not
understand.
never. Why I haven't lately.
I just
And I
wonder.
do sleep. That's the thing about it. I normally get at least I get every day, I get at least 6 to
Mm-hmm.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get at least
Okay.
6 to 7. But it's not uninterrupted. I have to get up, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so
I just
10,
go get
10 to 3
get
is
some
a
snacks or something. You get hungry. You gotta
That's
get up
I
and go get
don't
something to eat.
I don't understand. I don't understand that. I don't wake up in the middle. It
So
has been
you're telling me,
years since I've had to just wake up in the middle of the night and go, I need something to eat. Like I just don't go do that.
oh, let me tell you something. See, that's you just disobedient to the spirit. When the spirit wakes you up and says eat, you have to be obedient.
Oh my gosh, it has been years. Like early 20s is about the
Mm.
time that happened. Last it happened.
Oh,
After that, late 20s, I was not popping up just to go get something to
but
eat.
I mean,
No, like if I
it's
wake
one.
up and go to the bathroom, I don't feel hungry and go, let me go stop by the kitchen since I'm up. Like, no, I'm going my butt back to bed.
I mean, I do that too sometimes, but you've ever gotten up around, let's just say 2 a.m. and you just like, you got up, you went to the bathroom, and then you go back to lay down, and it's one of those, well, I'm kind of more awake than normal. Then what do? You can scroll your phone, which is not good because then you can just, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, so let's just watch a quick little 30-minute show. Maybe that'll kind of lull me back to sleep because I'm the person, like, I fall asleep to TV. My husband
Mm,
can't stand the TV being on at night.
mm,
I have to have a TV to fall asleep. So
mm.
that's not a distraction to me. I'll just turn the timer on and it'll normally put me to sleep. But then there are times when I'm really like, I've tried for like 15 to 20 minutes and I'm still up. And I know I should be dozing back off by now. You know what? I bet I'm hungry. Let me go grab something. And sure enough, you get a little snack, get a little water. If it was just like a piece of fruit or something, I'm really like starting to feel it. To be honest, I'm like, you know what? I'll brush my teeth before I went to bed. Let me rinse my mouth with water and go to sleep. And then you just out like a light, sleeping like a baby, because now you have been obedient to ministry. And there is no sleep better than obedient sleep.
Not.
Amen.
There is not.
So,
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. But to
okay,
answer
so
your,
why do babies wake up in the middle of the night? You give them a bottle and they go back to sleep.
you're not a baby.
I'm just saying, you're human. That's the thing about it. We had this conversation on our last episode. We talk about children behaviors, which there are childlike behaviors, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but this innate need to satiate hunger, that's a human need, not, I don't think, relegated to any one particular
But it
age
took you
range.
20 minutes to realize,
That
let me
might
go
be it.
get
I'm
a
hungry.
let me go get a bowl of Cheerios.
Well,
'Cause-
sometimes, like, there are times I'm just up. Like I've like literally, but see, I knew it when I went to bed because I was trying this whole intermittent fasting thing. And so, okay, don't eat after a certain time. And I knew when I went to bed, oh, I'm a little hungry, but I'll just drink. People say just drink some water and it'll go away. No, it doesn't. Water is for thirst. It is not for hunger.
You're supposed to try water first because it might just be that you're thirsty, not that you're hungry. because sometimes people
What?
confuse the two. Yes, there's
I'm
some.
not confused.
Well, you're different because you're close to God in that aspect of the
I know
food
that's right. I can
ministry.
hear very clearly because I know what hunger is versus thirst.
But I've had that happen to me where I have, if I just drink some water, I'm like, oh, that was my problem. Okay, now I can move on about my day. It's not that I'm hungry. I just
Mm-mm.
needed something to drink.
No, me and my pastor, we're on the same wavelength. We understand that you have to eat.
Your pastor is, yeah, he's a mess right now. Because he will drink like three, I think it's more than 8 ounces of whatever bottle container he has, cup. But he'll drink like three of those. I want to say it's like maybe 12 to a 16 ounce
Oh
cups.
gosh.
And he'll just sit there and just guzzle down like three of them. And I'm like, well, I know you're not thirsty. I can never tell him, oh, you're thirsty, go drink. So I can't tell him that. That's just, I mean, that's just pissing
Look,
off the angry
I've
bear.
already
Like,
checked that box. I
because he comes to me about 2 to 3 times a day and says, mommy, I need some more glah glah. I need some more glah glah. And I'm like, okay.
glah, glah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We've never said it that way. We've always said water. He
glah,
came
glah.
out with glah glah.
Hey, I'm not
Yeah,
knocking it.
I don't,
You
because I was
just
like,
have to
water
learn the
doesn't even
language.
make that noise.
Ah, he's speaking Spanish. Agua.
I thought that's what he was saying, but when you ask him to say that, he's like, I can't say that.
Oh, never mind.
It's because I did. I asked him
Okie
because I
dokie.
think the CFO had said, "Well, say agua." He says, "I can't say that." Like it was a cuss word or something.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying
Who do
that. I
you
can't.
think I am?
But that's what I thought too. I was like, "Oh, he's saying, no, gla, gla, like GL whatever, GLAH, yeah, gla,
Glah, glah.
gla." Hmm.
Whatever it is, get it for him because that's
Yeah,
what he's asking for.
yeah. So I'm like, well, that's fine. But yeah, no. But to answer your question, 10 minutes ago or whenever we started, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Awesome sauce.
I actually, speaking of list or speaking of to-dos, as a content creating on my own schedule kind of deal person, um, I just make my schedule as fit, as it see fit. So if I don't get it done, unless it's, hey, this bill has to be paid, or you have to go get groceries, or you have to get this for dinner tonight, unless it's something I have to do, I'm pushing stuff around left and right. Except for today, I had to finish painting the pastor's bed frame because he is getting a big boy bed, and it had to
Awesome.
be painted, and the paint has to, of course, it only takes about 2 hours to dry, but excuse me, I'm sorry, but it's the fact that it's winter and you want to make sure that that paint stays, and it's not sticky because the humidity and all that stuff. So it was a 2-day project. Could have been just one day, but because of, like I said, not being very hot out and the humidity would rise in the evening, I was like, let me just stretch it, make sure all coats dry. So I did 2 coats yesterday and did one and a touch up today. So he's got a matching dresser and soon to be twin bed coming his way. Well, he already has a dresser, but I did that. That was on my I had to do before next week or the week after because he's getting that ASAP. And yeah, so I got that. That should have been on my bucket list.
Paint the
Cause,
bed.
huh?
Paint the bed. That's on your bucket list.
Yeah, so that should have been, because that was actually a tough one. Because like it was one of those where I started the project on the dresser and I had all the oomph in the world to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this done. I got the dresser done. I said, next I'm gonna do that bed frame. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. After I finished that dresser, I looked at the bed frame. I said, why did I set myself up for this? Why did I do
Hey, I was
that?
thinking it, but I know you like arts and crafts. So hey, I was thinking it's called buy a set. and it's already done. When you start talking about humidity and coats of paint and tacky and nope, I just buy it and be done with it.
Well, I
I
mean,
cannot. I can't. But hey,
eh,
you can, and that's all that
I
matters.
can, and I can cut out the costs by just doing that. So the bed frame was a head me down. It was either my brother or my little sister's bed frame. And it was one of those, it came as a bunk bed. The bottom or one of the other sets got ruined. And this was the one that was left. And I said, well, we're not doing this 1970s, 1980s wood color. We're going to paint it black. And then we're going to, well, who is we? It's me, myself, and I.
It's you, right? Because
It's just,
I know the CFO is not about to do arts and crafts.
I will not let him. Um,
He didn't want to, just so you know.
yeah, he didn't. He didn't want to. Um,
Hence why I
so
call him my cousin. We understand each other.
y'all
We're just
are
gonna go to
from
the
y'all
store.
are from the same cloth, literally. I could swear y'all are related in some shape or
I'm
form.
thinking about time. It's like by the time I don't even want to know how long this all took. Okay, I do. That's a question. I want you to tell me how much time did it take from. I don't even know what you have to do. Do you have to sand it
Oh
first?
yeah, yeah. Have to
Prime
sand
it?
it.
I don't know what it
No, I
is.
don't have to. I don't
Okay,
have to prime it because now paint comes with primer in it. Most paints do, so you don't have. You just have to
okay,
buy
there you go.
the
I
right
don't even
one,
know
whether
that.
it's matte gloss or I forgot what the other one is. Flat.
Okay,
That's
so
what it is.
take me from everything. Like, is the bed already in the room?
No, his mattress and stuff haven't even been purchased yet.
Okay, so this bed is in the. Let's just go from okay, it's at the house because no matter if you had that bed or another one, you would have had to bring it to the house. Well,
Yeah, it's already
and
been.
I
I
was
got
gonna
it from my.
say I would probably get somebody to deliver it, but I'll go with this. Let's just apples to apples here, comparison. The bed's at the house.
Mhm.
How long did it take to do all of this
Mm,
collectively?
let's see. I forgot I needed sandpaper because I used all my sandpaper on the dresser months ago. So I had to
So
go
now we have
get
to go back to the
sandpaper.
store and get some more
Yes, I
paper
had to go back to the store, which I already had
and
to go
then
to the
come
store and get
back
stuff
home.
for my pork stew, as you want to call it, my pork soup.
Well, I'm sure you did not buy sandpaper and pork stew products at the same place. I hope you didn't.
Well, I did. No, I did. I went to a wonderful store of Walmart
Okay.
and did that. Um, but some of the
Pork
stuff
stew
I needed was
products.
some of the stuff I needed. I didn't need everything. Like I already had the Boston butt, so I didn't have to get
That's
that.
a totally different episode. That's a mini episode. She bought ingredients to make a Boston butt soup.
Yep. It was a decent. Anyways, yeah. Other way. Well, actually, I think that goes with our topics for today. It does go. Yeah, it
Oh,
does. It does. Well,
oh,
not that
perfect.
particular
Okay.
one, but anyways. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I had to go back and get the sandpaper. Now the hard part for me was which sandpaper to get because there's like three different levels. So it took me about 10 minutes to figure out which one to get. Then I had to get a painter's stick because I forgot to get it when I got the paint the last time. Um, which those are free. So I didn't have to worry about that. Got that, got back home. So that was about a 30-minute shopping trip. Then the sanding part. The sanding part took about 2 hours because the pieces are
Oh
already
my
put
God.
together. So I couldn't just go through and run it and sand it real quick. I had to go through slowly. Well, no, let me say an hour and a half because I was also talking on the phone. And I was on the phone for about an hour and I had finished, but I had started before I got on the phone. So about an hour and a half. But the pieces are together, so I had to sand each individual like side or whatever to get that top coat off so that the paint will actually stick. Then I had to dust it off, which I had the leaf blower plugged up, but
Oh gosh.
well, it was easier than wiping it down. Just take the leaf blower and blow the sanded stuff off.
Got leaf blowers. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was easier than doing the other way. So I wiped it down, blowed all the sand and stuff off, And let's see, I'd already put my tarp and stuff down. Hell, I have to think about this because I also cleaned the garage yesterday. So I'd say the first coat and everything, the kids were outside from I think like 11 to 4, and I was doing stuff from 11 to about 2. So about 4 hours, 4.5 hours in total of just the sanding in the first couple of coats. And then I just sat out there and watched it dry because I was like,
You watched it. Okay.
I was watching it dry. Well, there was nothing else for me to do because I think I'd finished clean. I had to start cleaning the garage because I realized I hadn't had my sandpaper. So I was like, well, let me clean up the garage while I'm here because I have to move this stuff anyway to get it out so I can paint it in the garage. And I also wanted to wait on it to warm up before I went out and actually shopped because I don't like shopping in the cold. So that was my other thing. And the garage was fairly warm because it's attached to the house. Anyways, it's a whole nother thing. But yeah, about 4.5 hours yesterday, and then about an hour today. So about roughly 5 to 6 hours. Because I really only had to do touch up like one other coat on certain parts, like big parts. It wasn't just touch up parts. I was like one whole side. I had to do a whole nother coat. On like the headboard and the footboard, and then touch ups on the beams that were on the side and on the other side of the headboard and footboard and underneath where I couldn't see and stuff like that. And then once that dried, because I sat out there for another 2 or 3 hours, then I moved it back to where it was stationed until it's ready to be put in his room. So 8 hours in total if you want to include drying time, even though I wasn't watching it dry this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna. Look, I'm not gonna do that. I'll deduct that. So
You'll do what?
I'll deduct the drying time because technically you can do something else while it's drying.
And that's what I did. I was like cleaning out the garage again or playing with the kids, reading, scrolling, leaf blowing the front porch area. Yeah, I was doing other things to kind of pass the time, and also trying to figure out how I was going to get it moved up close enough to the wall so I get my car back in the garage. Cause my car was
Oh
like, no,
gosh.
my car is not going to sit out in the cold. And then if I have to get back in my car the next day, which I did, I had to get back in my car today because I took the kids to the park. My car is not going to sit out and just freeze. I'm not doing that. So,
So wait a minute.
hmm
The country chick is
hmm
saying my car can't sit outside. I just want to make sure I note that.
yes, you can
I
put
did not
that.
say that. She said that. I have no problem with the car sitting outside for a day. Cars are meant to, kind of live in different climates. It's not like a puppy. Um, you have house cars and then outside cars, they're just cars. They can
Oh
survive.
my gosh.
So I just want to make sure that we can note that I, for once, did not make a very city-like comment. She said that. But back to this bed. Is this bed solid wood?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And that's the other reason why I wanted to paint it is because it just looks better. Because eventually I'm going to get stickers or stencil or paint or whatever
Oh
and
my
and
gosh.
draw on it, probably stickers because he's gonna have this bed for a long time. So, oh, and this
Yeah,
will
sweet
segue
Lindsay.
into our topic about not
Man,
about Thanksgiving.
got it.
Anyways, the pastor loves food. One of his favorite foods during the summer is baked beans. One night we were
Oh,
having um fried chicken, fries, basically barbecue in a sense. Because the CFO had leftovers from his lunch. And so he had brought home a little container of baked beans. He knows the pastor loves baked beans, so he heats some up and he gives it to him. Mind you, I'm in here doing something. I can't remember what. I'm in working on something. And the next thing you know, I hear commotion. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. CFO's out there, he'll handle it. Next thing you know, here comes the CEO. Mommy, what? Daddy needs some tweezers. Why?
Tweezers.
Yeah, yeah, he needs tweezers. Why does he need tweezers? Because Pastor shoved a bean up his nose. A what? A, a, be- a bean? You mean a
Oh
bee?
gosh.
Like a BEAD? No, a bean. How do you get a? Because at this
Was it a
time,
baked bean, like a soft one?
yeah, at this time, I didn't know that
Um,
he had baked beans because I had not made any, and the CFO had not made. I didn't even know he had brought some home to actually, So I'm going, one, how do you get a bean? I'm thinking of a dry bean. Like, one,
right.
where did he get that? Because I've not made any, and as far as I know, none of my bags have holes in them. And then two, he likes food. Why would he shove a bean up his nose, of all places? So I get ready to come out there and look and see, because I'm like, well, the last thing I want to do is put tweezers up his nose. But I'm like, but the second thing was how, what bean is up his nose? Well, the CFO's furious at this point because he's like, why would you do that? And, I'm kind of chuckling to myself because I'm like, only he would do this. Only he would do this. So I go to lay him down and I'm like, well, the worst case scenario, because of how large it is, it's not going to get in his lungs. He'll choke on it and they'll come back out of his mouth if he sucks it up. And the whole time the CFO's fussing, talking about it's got barbecue sauce on it. Why would you do that? Now you got barbecue sauce up your nose and you got a bean stuck up there. I
Oh
just need some
god.
tweezers to get him out. And I'm like, no, no. And I squeeze
You
his
just
nose and
smush it.
I
Yeah.
squeezed his nose and it popped right out.
You just smush,
Um,
smush, smush.
yeah, and it just popped right out. Because I was sitting here thinking, the last thing I want to do
Tweezers
is
aren't gonna help anyway. They're gonna
no.
just
I was thinking it's gonna mush it or it's gonna cut it. It's not gonna get it out, is what I'm thinking.
yeah.
And I asked the pastor, I said, "What did you put it up your nose for?" He's like, "I don't know." Like,
Oh my gosh.
okay, so he can't even be trusted with food at this point, and he's never done. That's the thing. He's never shoved anything up his nose, food wise, or anything. Period. He doesn't shove stuff in his ears, nothing like that. So it's like, and I want to trust this guy with a crayon,
Oh gosh.
a pencil. No, I don't. I don't trust him at all. I barely trust him with paint. Barely trust him with paint. So we have a long road ahead before he starts pre-K because he's got to use a pencil eventually.
Yeah, like the clock is ticking. Like pre-K starts in August.
Exactly. And I am dealing with a 3-year-old that is shoving beans up his nose, which makes no sense because he loves baked beans.
Well, he probably thought my mouth likes the taste of them, I wonder. And I like to smell them. So I wonder if I put them in my nose, will I taste it?
Well, he tasted it for the entire night because he was rubbing his nose and everything.
Oh, the barbecue sauce was just tearing them up.
Yeah, but I mean, I got out as much as I could, but it's like it's either that or do a nasal rinse, and he's not going to sit still for that, and I'm not about to drown my kid doing that. So I said, you just have to deal with it
Oh,
until it runs out. I mean, you're gonna have to,
waterboarding a 3-year-old. Just
yeah, and
can't
I'm
do
not doing
that.
that. Yeah, not gonna do that. That's gonna end very traumatic. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just chose to laugh it off because I'm like, well, at this point, how it's almost like how many ways can he attempt to kill himself without intentionally trying to kill himself? That's where we are in this stage of toddlerhood. Because he doesn't understand the fears of sticking something up his nose. He doesn't understand the fear of not plugging something in because, he shouldn't be plugging stuff in. Um, he doesn't understand the importance of not running out in the middle of the street. Possible. I mean, he'll look and make sure cars aren't coming, but if they're playing, he doesn't think, "Oh, let me stop." So, yeah, that's just where we are. Next thing I'm thinking he's gonna do is try to eat a worm or something. I'm like, okay, it's perfectly fine. That's where we are. But
Okay.
speaking of food,
Okay.
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
or what else is it called? I can't get it right.
Indigenous Peoples Day?
We've already had that day. That
Oh
was on.
no, that's not Indigenous Peoples Day.
No, it's not. But I know they were trying to change it to something of that nature.
I thought, wait a minute. Sometimes you just can't let something go mentally.
I surely can't.
Let's see. What is it? I
Because I know
thought it
they didn't want to
was.
call it Thanksgiving. But I thought they replaced Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day.
It was. Wait a minute. So what's the Thanksgiving alternative?
Yeah. What is that?
Let us find out. Let us ask our dear friend, search engine. Oh gosh, you don't even want to know
Never mind then. What
what
is it?
the other names.
Are they very derogatory?
Uh, the National Day of Mourning,
Oh my gosh.
on Thanksgiving Day,
Okay.
the National Day of Listening, and
That
I do know that November is Native American Heritage Month, which I think is fitting.
yeah.
Restorative Justice Week is the
Uh
third week of November, but that's in another country. I don't know why that's there.
uh
Um, National Family Week.
okay.
But yeah, I just want to go back to this whole notion of the National Day of Mourning.
Yeah, that one's uh
I understand it though. It's just a matter of standing in solidarity with Native Americans.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, cool. Because I'm just like, wait a minute. Hold on. It's like, hold on a second.
So yeah, that's where it derives. But let's just go with Thanksgiving
Yeah,
because
let's
that's
stick
the
with that.
common term. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just stick with that. Because I thought it was the other one too, but I'm just gonna go with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, so um some people don't celebrate it. I had to tell the CEO this, I think last year or the year before, that some people don't celebrate it, not just because of their religious beliefs, but like Native Americans just don't celebrate it because
Right.
it's not a
It's
day for them. You know, it's
it's a day that's very painful
right.
for others to celebrate it, and it is a day. Like I said, it's painful to experience, like to see people celebrate something that brings you like that's so traumatic
Mm-hmm.
in your history can be hard to deal with.
Yes. So they specifically don't. And I explained to her why.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she equivalates it just because she's, at that time she was like 6 or 7. I think she had just turned 7. She equivalated to slavery and the fact that, black people were punished and what have you. That's the only way she could understand it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
she was like, oh, okay, I get it. And I said, but I ain't gonna say they got it worse, but they were treated very bad upon arrival to the point of they pushed them all the way out of where they lived just so that they could have what they wanted. And it wasn't right. And she's like, well, why would they push someone out of their own home? The typical, kid questions because they're like, I wouldn't like it if someone came and kicked me out of my house. And it's like, yeah, or cause you to get sick or, you know, harm you, kill you, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
So
that was my question. Like, are you ever gonna tell her like the whole story?
eventually,
Okay,
I can't tell her now because
because
she's
that
still
would be the
trying to.
best part of it, just losing your home.
Yeah, it's like I can't tell her a lot of it now because she's still trying to wrap her head around the fact that black people weren't treated right less than 60 years ago. And she's just now trying to get her head wrapped around the fact that her grandparents lived through being discriminated against. So to try to also explain that there's this whole other group of people she's probably not going to see immediately, and since they're all mostly out west, she's not going to see face to face, and try to explain that to her in a such a dark tone for her. She's not going to get it.
Okay.
It's just gonna be a story that's told. She's not gonna understand the depth of it. So I just tell her, I said, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in that aspect. we just use it as it's a nice day off to sit with your family and just chill and relax. Eat some good food and just chill. You don't have to, watch no parades. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You could just sit down, take the day off, watch TV. Just use it like a regular day, because for some people that day is not a regular day. So, and then because you don't have that heritage, you won't understand. So for us, yeah, we're still gonna eat the food, but we're not going to celebrate it the way that it was pushed for us to celebrate. If that makes any sense. Because I want to honor the Native Americans that have lost their lives and were mistreated and such. Because it's just not okay. It's not okay to just continue to whitewash the history.
I totally agree. Um, it's a little bit closer to me because I have Native American family members.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, my mom would tell me stories and things about her grandmother. Her, is it her grandmother? Her great grandmother, who lived to be like old. And so she
Mm-hmm.
remember spending the summers with her. Um, in in rural, in the rural areas
Mm-hmm.
where she lived, and she would have a teepee, and she thought she didn't even she was a kid, so she thought, wow, this is so cool. My grandma has a teepee at her house, but she didn't realize it was actually a real one. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until an adult, like she thought it was like a toy.
Oh
And it
wow.
wasn't until she became an adult that she realized, like, no, it was like a real, like she said, it was so big on the inside. It
Mm.
was bigger than any tent they would have at home. But she said no, it was like legit, like the skins, and like it was homemade. And um, she grew up as a Christian, of course, but her great grandmother was not, and she didn't realize until she became an adult that her grandmother was the medicine woman in the community.
Mm.
And people would come to her, not just for illnesses, but she said she remember hearing a woman tell her that her husband was cheating on her, and her grandmother would go into TP and mix things up and then come out and say, okay, well, try this, and your husband will come back to you. And she said she would help her grandmother mix things.
Hmm.
And so she said as an adult, she had to repent because she didn't know if she was dabbling in black magic. And I told her, I was like, that
Oh my gosh.
it wasn't voodoo. It was, I don't know what it was, but I don't think it was voodoo. But,
Right.
I've seen pictures of my family members that were full blooded,
Mm-hmm.
and hearing these stories about them, and they would kind of share, just like African Americans, their culture is told through story down through the generations. It's the same with
Mm-hmm.
Native Americans. So just a little bit that I would hear, they would talk about the atrocities that they experienced
Mm-hmm.
because they were Native Americans or because they were mixed. They were Native Americans and African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with that, being mixed, was tough too.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
how my great grandmother was shunned by her family because she married a black man.
Mm. Mm.
Things
Mm.
like
Mm.
that. Yeah. So it's like you said, it's unfortunate, but with any group of people who are mistreated, you don't have to. And I know this is still too young for the CEO, but just in general, you don't have to personally know someone who's suffered atrocities to, still stand in solidarity with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand. You may enjoy the day off, but you don't necessarily have to celebrate, like you said, the way it's traditionally celebrated either.
Right. Because the only way I know how to celebrate it is, tell the story of the Mayflower or whatever it was that landed, and they greeted them well and they had their first Thanksgiving, and it's like, well, that's what we were told,
But that's not what happened.
but that's
Well,
not.
that's what we were told by the people who wrote the textbooks.
Yes. Yes.
That's not what happened. And we
And we
all know there's always more than one side to a story.
exactly. And then, so you should give thanks because you're in this great, wonderful country that was created by this. And then you start reading the history of, which makes no sense because as they continue to teach history, then they taught about how they literally pushed them from their land and just massacred them. And it's like,
Right. So why would it be a trail of tears if we were having wonderful meals together?
exactly. So make it make sense. And of course, as a kid, you're just like, well, why would they push them away if they literally were thankful for them and they saved your life by teaching you all this stuff for you to turn around and give them smallpox and kill them and hunt them down just so that you can have property that's not even yours? Like, that makes no sense. None. Hence
Well,
why you should be careful about what you celebrate and what holidays you should really know some details about it. And so for me, it doesn't even, like, as soon as I heard from one Native American, it was on some news show, I can't remember which one, that they didn't celebrate Thanksgiving because what is there to be thankful about when you get, killed and sent away from your home?
mm-hmm.
They had said that, and I was like, oh, well, if y'all are hurt, guess what? Bump Thanksgiving. Bump it. We don't have to say, it's fine. I'm cool with that. Because if it's hurting you, why would I continue to do something that's going to hurt another person, like you said? I can stand in solidarity with you and just not. I can still hang out with my family on that day because it's a day off. But I don't have to sit there and be like, well, and the pilgrims are that. Well, one, I wasn't a pilgrim. And I'm pretty sure my ancestors weren't one either. Pretty sure they were drug over here in some shape, form, or fashion.
Years later.
Years later. And, whipped into submission. So, I mean,
Well,
technically, Thanksgiving ain't for me neither. So,
as the 4th of July is not another
it's,
holiday I don't celebrate.
yeah, no. I
That
watched
one wasn't for me either.
no, that one wasn't for me either. I wasn't free from nobody. Well, my ancestors weren't. I'm free now, as free as can be. But yeah, but okay. So we both agree not to celebrate
Yeah.
Thanksgiving in honor of the Native Americans, the original people who lived here,
Yep.
and how they suffered. But
And are still suffering, by the way.
And still, because they're still pushing them and they're still fighting for their land. And I don't care what you say, government, otherwise, someone don't want them to live, period. And I don't understand why. Just like they don't want other races to live. And I don't understand why. Because ain't nobody bothering nobody. They just selfish.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about food, right?
We're talking about, we're going to go on to food. Now, even though we don't celebrate it as far as telling stories and all that kind of stuff, there is a particular Thanksgiving food meal platter that is passed down from generation to generation. And since we do food fights almost every episode, this is going to be the third, well, part 3 or part 2.5, because we're almost actually out of time, to talk about what foods, Thanksgiving foods, we actually partake in. And this is like the basic ones. So we're talking about cranberry sauce, turkey, dressing, mac and cheese, your collards, for some people, chitlins, ham, rolls, yams, your sweets, your pies, your cakes. What else is there? Some people have mashed potatoes. I don't know why. Your gravy or giblet gravy. So yeah, let's start with the turkey since that's normally one of the first things that's talked about. And how do you like your turkey prepared? Do you even, well, you don't eat turkey. Well, before.
Yeah, I understand. I got the
Okay.
context. So let me start off just going to throw a wrench in the plan. My family does not do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, cool.
So every year we have a theme. So one year it might be seafood.
Ooh.
Another year it might be Italian.
Mm.
Um, one time we did comfort food because my brother loves meatloaf.
Ooh.
So we
Okay.
did my mom did make a meatloaf and mashed potatoes. So that was the one year we had mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, but it made sense. Oddly enough, this year is the first time I know in 20 years or more
Hmm.
that we're having traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh wow.
But my brother does not like Thanksgiving because he said that Thanksgiving has not been the same since my grandparents passed. And it hasn't.
Um.
So that's why we don't do it. But my mom is doing like the traditional things that we're talking about. But my brother's not gonna eat that. So my dad's also barbecuing and he'll have baked beans and coleslaw so that he doesn't have to eat the regular stuff.
So he says it's not been. Never mind. That's a conversation for another day. Um.
Yeah. So I just want to say that typically we don't, but this year we are. So I can talk about it because I can look forward to actually eating it.
All right.
So turkey.
Do you look forward to actually eating it?
No, I could care less. Because being African American in the South, all this stuff we eat all the time anyway.
It really is. Minus the
Yeah.
dressing and the turkey. Pretty much everything else.
Oh yeah, you
Eh,
eat dressing all year. Well, my family we eat dressing all year. So
no.
it's
Dressings
like
is just
barbecue. Some people look forward to 4th of July, Labor Day because that's barbecue day. Like we eat barbecue all the time. So it's nothing special
yeah, for me, yeah. But
about barbecue being
mm-hmm.
in the South. So yeah,
Yeah.
turkey dressing, ham, all that, like what would be considered a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. My
Mm-hmm.
mother-in-law cooks that literally every 2 or 3 weeks on a Sunday dinner.
Hmm.
So it's nothing, yeah. That's why I don't look forward to it. You just get tired of seeing it, to be honest.
So you are completely not saying bashing, but you're completely like, no, it doesn't have to happen. It's not
Yeah,
necessary.
like growing up, going to like different family members' houses for dinner, well, for Thanksgiving, like at my family's, every year someone hosts it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe an aunt this year, an uncle the next year. Oh, well, my grandparents were living, it was always in my grandparents' house. But after that, it kind of rotated.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and I were notorious for saying, "Can we stop by McDonald's first?" We would always eat McDonald's, Burger King, something on the way there because we didn't want to eat
Wow.
it. Yeah, so we always
Wow.
showed up. We eat dessert, but we
Mm-hmm.
never ate it. Never.
Wow. Kind of sounds like your
Or
cousin. He
pizza, a pizza. Get a pizza on the way. Yeah, just eat in the car.
That's hilarious. Sounds like your cousin and he hates hen because that's what they would make and it would always be dry.
A
It'd be
hint? What?
of dry hen, yeah. It'd be some dry hen that they would make for
Somebody didn't know what they were doing
the
to make a dry bird. But to answer your question, turkey, I'm only eating the breast. That's it.
Okay, but fried, baked,
Oh, always baked. I've
smoked.
never had fried turkey before.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've never had that. But yeah, baked turkey. And again, if somebody made it and it was dry, I'm not definitely not eating that.
Mm.
But yeah, baked turkey, breast only, no dark meat.
No, I
What
don't
about
like.
you?
I've had baked, I've had fried, and I've had smoked. My favorite is fried.
Interesting. I have to try
And
that one day. One day.
uh one day you get it. My favorite is fried because turkey's dry as I'll get out and I hate dry turkey. So baked has always been dried and smoked is not necessarily dried out as long as you don't smoke it too long. But I don't necessarily care for the heavy smoked flavor because it has to, be smoked between I think 6 and 8 hours, depending on the size. Um, so yeah, nothing against smoked because it to me it doesn't dry it out, but I just sometimes it can have that heavy smoke flavor. So fried for me. Once my dad introduced us to fried turkey, we was like, never again are we going back to baked turkey. It's dry baked turkey.
You have to
Always
baste
fried.
it.
Just leave it
You
alone.
have
Just
to you have to baste the turkey to keep it.
don't
And
care.
then you cook it breast side down so it can kind of baste itself. And then you flip it over
Hmm.
at the end to brown it.
Well, guess what? fried.
It's basted in
And
its own greases.
this does that. I don't particularly care for ham.
No.
I can eat it, but I don't particularly care for it. And the only reason I say that is because my aunt would always buy one from Honey Bake, and she loves ham. And it was just like, I just can't eat this like all the time. Like, I never looked forward to it. It's not that it's nasty. It's like, it's a huge piece of ham.
Sweet meat. Mm-mm.
I get that might be it too. But
Yeah, nobody wants sweet meat. It's like putting syrup on bacon. No.
it was just, hey, syrup on bacon ain't bad. Just saying.
Oh my god.
some of that some of that pancake syrup get over there on that bacon. Mm-mm.
Nope. That's why you put pancakes on a separate plate. But continue back to this
Oh my
Thanksgiving
gosh.
dinner.
Food fight. So we're no on ham for both of us, but you would
Yes.
do baked and breast. Me, I'm doing fried, and I don't care what part. Dressing.
I'll eat it. I like dressing.
Okay, cool beans. I like dressing too. I come to find out I like dressing with giblet gravy, but it depends on who makes it, how it's made.
Yeah, no gravy for me.
Oh yeah, I'm loving some gravy. Give me gravy.
No. I don't know what's in it. First of all, what is a giblet?
I think it's part of the turkey. I can't remember, like the neck of the turkey or something like that. I can't
Okay,
remember.
yeah, I'm good. I don't want no neck juices on my dressing. I'm good.
I mean,
Just
gravy
keep that up.
literally is fat and flour. That's all it is.
I understand what it
And
is, but what
water
I'm
or
saying is,
milk or whatever. I can't remember.
what is giblets? Is the question.
I think it was a I
That's an
think I can't remember.
unidentified ingredient.
I'm gonna look it up because I really don't know what giblet is. Oh, and I'm spelling it wrong anyway. You don't
Did
want
you
to know.
spell it with the J?
I sure did. Oh, it's got hard boiled eggs in it. That is what it is.
Oh gosh, that's even worse. Okay, that's
I did
definitely
not
not
know
vegan.
that. I did not know
I'm
that.
good. Nope, you can keep that. So
I was
dressing
wrong.
for me, I have to know the person who made it. Like literally, I've only eaten my mom's and my mother-in-law's dressing. I don't eat anybody else's.
Mm, okay.
And then yeah, no gravy for me.
Oh, I love some gravy. Give me some gravy. Brown gravy is fine too. Um, okay. So the only dressing, well, no, I think I've had some other dressing, and someone made it with like the stovetop stuffing mix, and that was one of the worst
Oh
dressings
my
I've
gosh.
ever had. Um, so technically I only eat my mom's dressing too. I think my
There you
sister
go.
made it one time and it was pretty good when she made it because she made it off of my mom's recipe. But the thing is that my mom uses no measurements. So
I was just about to say that there is no recipe to dressing.
there is no recipe to dressing. So it's really literally based off of taste alone and a taste and smell. But dressings to me smells like celery before it's baked. So I'm like, I'm the worst because I hate celery. So I'm not gonna end up making dressing ever. So I'm gonna need
Oh
somebody
gosh.
in my family to figure out how to make dressing.
And for
Besides,
me, that's just like the more veggies, the better. Because I like to just get veggies in as much as I can. But yeah, the more celery, onions, bell peppers, delicious.
yeah, see, no. That's all I smell at the beginning. Yeah, I do. I forgot about the bell peppers. Yep, can't do it.
Gotta have the bell peppers.
Mm-mm. All right. So you said no to gravy. I'm sorry, I forgot to mark that
No
one.
gravy, white meat turkey, no to the ham. What about cranberry sauce?
I prefer. Did I write that down? I did write that down. I prefer jellied.
So you do eat it. Some people don't eat
Yeah.
it at all. So you do eat it and it has to be
Mhm.
jellied. So no compote or whole cranberry sauce.
No, but I also have not tried it either. So I plan on trying it this year. If someone brings it.
Okay. I'm with you on the jellied.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it has to be cut in slices.
Yes. Who eats it? What is there another way? What?
I remember years ago, I was at a family member's house, and people who can't cook, they'll tell you, "Hey, go put ice on the soda." It's like they'll give you things to do that really won't touch the food. And it was one of my aunts who kind of was like newly married into the family. They just put her on cranberry sauce duty. And she opened the can of cranberry sauce, like dumped it in a bowl, and used like a butter knife and just kind of chopped it up. Like it was just different, ununiform formed chunks. In my mind, I was like, no, we don't
Mm-mm.
chunk. It was almost like she was just chopping it up so much to where it kind of turned into it. It could have been whole cranberry sauce without, instead of the cranberries, there were just chunks of jelly cranberry sauce. It was just in a bowl, and you could kind of get it out with a spoon by the time she got done with it.
Oh my gosh, you literally put it on a saucer and you just slice it.
Everybody knows that you use the ridges in the side to help you with
Exactly,
the
to
measure.
help you.
Okay,
Exactly.
there you go.
The worst parts is the ends because it slips and slides. But once you get a good grip,
Yes, you
I
have
mean,
to
it's
put your finger on the side to hold it in place to get started with the cuts.
yeah, but you don't touch it
Yeah.
too hard because then your finger will go
No,
through it. So
there
you
you
just,
go. You
you just
gotta
gotta
just gently,
lightly, yeah.
gently. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
She did not understand the assignment.
No, she's the one that will forever bring plates and cups and
And yep, paper goods is what they call it. Paper goods.
yes.
You're on the paper good duty.
Yeah. All right, mac and cheese.
Yes,
What?
I'll eat that. I mean, but I'll eat that with,
Any time of day, yeah.
yeah, it's like green
Well,
eggs and
you
ham.
any
I'll
time of
eat it
day.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll eat it here and there. I'll eat it everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But oh, wait a
Um,
minute. We have to say this.
what's that?
Nothing that's cooked on the stove. It has to be baked.
That was understood. It's baked mac and cheese.
Hey, I just have to make sure the listeners know.
Well, yeah, for y'all listeners, I'm sorry. Between her and me, it's baked mac and cheese. Sorry.
Yes, but yeah, no stove top anything.
No, no blue box, none of that mess. No.
No.
In our household, we have the green bean casserole. Uh, I've come to understand that that's not a dish that is supposed to be.
I just had this look on my face. I was looking like somebody was watching me. I'm over here looking suspicious.
I have just
You
learned
have what?
we have green bean casserole, and I can't remember how we started it, but we have green bean casserole.
Please stop it.
Okay. And like I said, I just found out, I think last year, that it's not supposed to
It's not supposed to what?
it's not supposed to go with Thanksgiving or
It's
any.
not supposed to be eaten by black people at all. I mean, green bean casserole.
But I'm gonna
Like the
tell you,
soup mixed with the green beans and the fried onions.
yeah, yeah, all of that. But I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you, we had it and I actually enjoyed it. So that'll be my
okay.
it doesn't help me at all as far as not sitting all the way with the black group. But I'm not gonna lie,
Mm,
it's okay. Now I don't eat a lot of it. It's not horrible, but I can't eat like if once it's baked, I can eat it, but it cannot be reheated. It's not a dish that can be reheated because the French onions have to be crunchy. Well, once you put it in the refrigerator and it soaks up some of that soup or whatever, it gets stale, they're soft and soggy. So it's not a reheatable dish.
okay.
But it's not bad. It's not
Good.
it's not I'm not eating it every day. So, but I don't have
Okay.
a problem because my little sister makes it and I'm fine with it how she makes it. And she can cook. Like she just I don't know how she got stuck with green bean casserole and she's done it
It's a
every
hard
year.
no for me. I'm just gonna
But
pass on.
no, gotcha. I'm a half on it just because I'll eat it, but at the same time I'm not reeating it, like reheating to eat it. And it's just a once year deal. That's it. Oh, there's another one that we have too. I forgot about that corn casserole.
What?
You've never had corn casserole?
No.
It's kind of like
Mm-mm-mm.
it's like corn. My best way to say it is it's like corn and cornbread. It's kind of what it reminds me of, but it's not like that. It's like because it's
What's
very
in it? Just
moist.
tell me the
I
ingredients.
couldn't tell you. My grandma makes it, so I don't know.
So you eat something you don't know what's in it.
I sure do because it's
Oh
good.
no, I'm not doing that. Nope.
I
I'm
I
that person who sit when I get a new dish and you made it, tell me what's in it. Okay. Like yeah, I'm gonna interrogate your dish because I just need to know before I put it in my mouth. Like some people just bite something and then they learn about it later. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was eating chicken. I know you're eating squirrel. You see, you should have asked questions before you put it in your mouth.
Oh my
But
gosh.
okay, corn casserole, that's a hard no. So no to the green bean casserole. The only casserole we're eating is macaroni and cheese and dressing.
Oh, Mac. Okay. Uh, mashed potatoes.
No.
Okay, that's a no for me too. They don't go on. They don't do that. Collards and turnip greens, like collard greens or turnip greens.
So my in-laws, they do collards.
Mm-hmm.
My family does turnips.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, to both, or yeah, to know what, like what?
I'm thinking like
Well, while you're thinking, I do know to
I'll
both.
eat either one as long as this is the thing. I will eat them at home. I don't like to eat other people's because they people put more meat than vegetables
Oh, that's the break-in.
in their vegetables.
Well, I mean, you know.
So like I'm the person who does not I don't like meat in my vegetables. So I'll say yes to collards, no to turnips.
Okay.
Yeah, no to turnips, yes to collards.
Okay. I'm saying no to both because I just don't like wet lettuce like that. And it smells
Yeah,
like
I was the same way until I just kind of got used to it.
not getting used to that fart smelling stuff. That's just disgusting.
Oh, I don't smell like that to me. But yeah. And I like all types of greens. So that's why I say I have to say yes. I'll eat braised cabbage. I'll eat sauteed kale. I'll eat sauteed spinach. So that's why I'm okay with the collards because I'll eat other wet lettuces too. But I'll
Mm.
also eat them raw. That's the thing about it. I'll eat a collard green wrap or a
Ugh,
kale salad or a spinach salad. So I'll eat them hot or cold, wet or dry.
but not wet
So
meat. Okay.
no, not sweet meat.
Or wet meat because you're not eating the dark meat of the turkey. So,
That's just greasy, nasty meat.
okay, whatever. It's called flavor, whatever. Uh, chitlins.
Heck no.
Chitterlings. Which never made sense. Why do
It
we
was
call
at
it?
the end. It was at the end of the train for a reason. It's a caboose, not an engine.
I
Not
don't
bringing it back around.
I don't do chitlins just because yeah, they don't smell great before you even
I know what they
start.
are.
So,
Like I know what
yeah.
used to be. It's kind of like if someone you wouldn't even sit on a dirty toilet. Let's just put it that way. If a toilet is nasty, you wouldn't sit on it, but you're gonna take the toilet contents and put them in your mouth. No,
Mm.
I'll pass.
With the analogy. Um, let's see. What was my next one? I lost my spot. Ribs.
Uh, I don't eat them, but if I did eat them, I would eat them for Thanksgiving. If that makes
Okay.
sense. I don't eat meat with bones.
But if someone pulled the meat off the bone, you would eat
Yeah,
it.
I would then. Oh yeah, I would eat it.
Okay.
I'm a
Fri-
pulled pork kind of person, but yeah, I would eat it.
okay, cool. Fried chicken.
Same. Um, hold on. The question is if we not if we will eat it, if we eat it for Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
If
answer
you
is
eat it
no
for
to that one. I don't
okay.
think fried chicken has a place at Thanksgiving.
Okay. I've just seen it at a couple. I've actually also seen duck. That
That's
was disgusting.
fancy. That's
That
fancy.
that was the greasiest. That thing looked like it was still sweating sitting on the counter.
Oh gosh.
It was. I was like, y'all sure y'all didn't just whack his head off and pluck its feathers? That was the biggest bird I've ever seen.
Tired. That may have been a goose.
and and
That
it
wasn't a
was
duck.
it was still little grease bubbles on top of it, like it just
Oh
been
no, that
sweating.
wasn't done. That was par cooked.
That was woo. That was a sad looking duck. And then it was sitting in a dressing on top of all that. So I was just like, yeah,
Oh my lord, no, we're not gonna eat that.
yeah. Um, yams or candied yams?
I think it belongs. I'm just not gonna eat it. They're too sweet for me.
Okay.
I eat like roasted whole sweet potatoes. I'll eat
Mm-hmm.
that, but I don't
Yeah.
want candy yams. It's like a
Oh,
dessert.
it is, and I like it, so I'm eating it. Now, as far as the pies and cakes and stuff that they have,
Oh my gosh,
there's so many. There's so many. So we're not even gonna go there. But is there any other like main course or side dishes you can think of that I didn't say besides? I mean, because rolls are rolls, you're gonna eat that because it's bread.
potato salad.
That doesn't belong.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. That's a barbecue deal. That's not it.
But I have never, and I have been to my share of Thanksgivings. I have never been to anyone's house for Thanksgiving and not had potato salad
Well, come to mine.
because it goes with the ham.
Well, we're not having
If you have
hams.
ribs, it goes with the ribs. It goes with the ham.
It
If you
does go
have
with the
fried chicken,
ribs.
it goes with the fried chicken. Potato salad, it goes.
Okay, it's not going at mine, but I understand. Would I eat it if it was
Okay.
there? Probably. Does it go? Nah, not too
Yes.
much.
But corn concoction does.
Corn casserole.
Corn concoction definitely has no place.
I want to say it's cream style corn, whole
I don't even
corn.
eat corn. Like I don't even like if I eat corn, it might be grilled corn for in the summer months, but like nobody just buys corn.
Okay. Just say you don't like the South then. Jeez, corn is like a supplemental food.
Like I'm just thinking back through my years, like I have never, like I said, other than like whole, like fresh corn and you grill
Mm-hmm.
it, that's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I have never, other than I guess school cafeteria, they'll have canned corn, but no,
Yeah.
ew, no.
Well, I don't know
And
if
fried
my
corn, but again, I have that in the summer. Like you'll make fried corn with your fried green tomatoes or something. But it's like if you're barbecuing, you'll cook fresh fried corn. Like you cut it off of the cob and fry it. But
mm-hmm.
this corn concoction sounds like it came from a can. Did it?
I'm sure part of it did.
Oh gosh.
Not all of it. Well, actually, I can't say because my grandmother, she probably shucked the corn and creamed it herself. Like honestly, she probably did. I don't know.
And now that I think about it, Thanksgiving is, being in November, it's not even in season. So it probably did come from a can because corn is a summer.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's
it
in
just
season in the
came up out
summertime.
of the summer. You could literally freeze it.
Yeah, you could
And,
have. That's what I'm saying. Like, unless she did that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure she used at this
Corn
point in her life. She's
concoction.
probably used canned because it's cream corn. Yeah, she probably did. But I can't remember everything she puts in it though. That's the thing.
So
I
it's
know
snot
onions in it,
corn,
huh?
snotty corn.
Oh my gosh, it's not just cream corn. What is wrong with you?
Oh, no, you can't sell me on this one, but you don't want to eat the potato salad with Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't want no. To me, potato salad because I like my potato salad cold.
Right. It has to be cold. I agree with that.
So it has to be in the summer. But if I'm having
But,
barbecue at Thanksgiving, then I don't mind it, but I'm not gonna eat it though.
well, let's go back to this temperature regulation. Cranberry sauce,
Cold,
cold or room temp?
cold.
Okay, just checking, just checking.
It's
Just
almost
have to
like
make
I'm
sure.
trying to see if you validate your black card. Is
I
you
gotta.
doing this
I
right?
didn't say that. I did not say that. I simply asked a question.
Quizzing me on my
I
if I'm
never brought race into the picture, but with this corn concoction, just questionable.
oh my gosh, I
Okay,
just
what
can't
else?
think of what all the anyway, I was gonna ask, what's your favorite pie and what's your favorite cake for these meals?
Pie.
Oh my gosh, she don't eat pie on Thanksgiving.
I don't.
Well,
Have I ever had a pie for Thanksgiving? You mean like sweet potato pie? Like that's the only pie I
mm,
can think of that would be at a Thanksgiving dinner, which my grandmother used to make those, but I haven't had one since she passed away. I literally have not had a sweet potato pie since then.
Sweet potato
I ought to
pie,
make one for my grandma.
pumpkin pie.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
I'm just thinking of all the pies. I'm not eating all of these pies. I'm just thinking of the
That should
pies.
not even be in the lineup.
Well, it
Pumpkin
is in
pie.
somebody's place. I'm sure some people do apple
We're
pie.
speaking, but we're speaking of personal experiences. So my question then now is, have you ever had pumpkin pie?
No, I've never
Okay,
had
just
pumpkin
making
pie.
sure.
I was just
Okay.
thinking of things like you said. You thinking corn casserole doesn't go, and I'm like, well, my experience it does. You
We
know,
have cobblers. Does that count?
yeah,
Well, no, it's
cobblers.
not a pie, but
No, well, I mean,
I'll
it's
eat a
close
cobbler.
enough. It's close enough.
Yeah, apple
Yes,
or
because
well,
I've had peach cobbler. I've had peach cobbler
oh my gosh.
during the Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'd
Yes,
go with
so we can have a
cobblers too.
peach cobbler, but we're not having no peach pies. And I'm not doing it.
No, it's a peach cobbler. It has to
But
be
a peach
cobbler only.
cobbler, cakes, that's what my mom and I do. We love to bake. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll always have some type of pound cake.
Okay, yeah. What
Um,
is it? A plain pound cake? Like, give me a flavor.
so my specialty is cream cheese pound. My mom's specialty is 7 Up pound.
Okay,
And a
never
friend of
had.
mine, her mom loves to make, it's called a 7 flavor pound cake. And it's literally 7 different extracts
Hmm.
in
How,
one cake. So
how
it's
does
almond, vanilla, rum. It's like, well, I don't know what the other four are, but I know those three. But oh
hmm,
my gosh, it is so good. So
hmm.
yeah, those we have at least 1 pound cake. Um, and then a red velvet, German chocolate cake, caramel cake, socket to me cake. Um, oh, I know another pie we do have. One pie, pecan.
My favorite.
You have to have a pecan pie. And then my dad, I have to always make him a banana pudding, but he does not like the baked ones. It has to be a cold pudding,
We've
a no
seen that
bake cold
too.
pudding, which I'll eat either. I love homemade baked. Like I love to eat banana pudding coming straight out of the oven.
Yeah, my aunt's like that. I can't stand banana pudding because I don't like banana. So not eating
Oh,
that.
okay.
I don't
I
see the
just went and
point of
bought some
having
bananas today.
don't see the point of having a hot banana or banana period for that matter. Um,
Potassium.
yeah, tomatoes. Anyways, pound cakes are a plus. Um, are wanted. I've seen the German chocolate. I'm not eating the German chocolate. I need to try it. But the icing is what gets me. The reason why I don't like it. Um, not red velvet. I've missed a caramel. Caramel cake is my favorite cake, which is nothing but a white cake with caramel icing, but or a yellow cake with caramel icing. But
It's a
either way,
butter cake with caramel icing.
whatever. Um, um,
Deliciousness.
what is a sakatumi cake? Because I'm trying to think of what it is, and I can't think of what it is.
A socket to me cake is basically it's a butter bundt cake with the strudel in the middle.
Okay,
Brown
no.
sugar, pecans, cinnamon.
So, pull apart cake,
Oh, what?
a pull apart cake,
What is a pull apart cake?
or monkey bread.
No, it's a bundt cake.
Same
You slice it.
difference. You can slice a pull apart cake.
But monkey bread is like chunks of dough that
Mm-hmm.
you bake together.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying it's still a bundt cake.
Oh, okay.
It's a cake. It has batter. You pour it in
Mm-hmm.
and you bake it.
Okay, but you put strudel in there.
The strudel is in the middle.
So you have two layers and the strudel's in the middle.
Okay, it's a cake. So
Mm-hmm.
like you prepare the bundt pan and then you pour half the batter in,
Mm-hmm.
and then the brown sugar and the pecans
Mm-hmm.
and the cinnamon, you mix it up
Mm-hmm.
and you just sprinkle it on and then you pour the rest of the batter. So when you bake it, it's still just a cake.
Hmm. I just see this happening. Like all of that's going to the top of the cake.
Oh, you put a little flour in there so that it doesn't happen. It stays in the middle.
Okay. Because I'm sitting here
Yeah.
thinking, because you can't flour all those like you do. Well, you don't do hot berries, but when I make my muffins, blueberry
Yeah.
muffins and stuff, you flour your
Mm-hmm.
blueberries so
Same.
they don't.
Same.
Well, I'm like, you
Yep.
can't flour brown sugar and stuff because it's.
Yeah, you just mix a little bit of flour or cornstarch in there. So it does the same thing that you would do. I do eat blueberry muffins. They're actually my favorite muffin.
They just have to be
Um,
cold muffins
what do you mean?
because you don't eat hot berries.
No, I'll eat a blueberry muffin out of the oven with some butter on top. Oh my gosh.
That makes no. But you won't eat a blueberry pie
No, that's
or a
nasty.
strawberry, which
I
makes
ain't never
also
heard
no
no hot
sense.
strawberry part. No,
Well, a strawberry cobbler. Have you not had
no,
one?
I've never had that. Never even heard of it.
You've
That's
never
up
had
there
a
with
strawberry.
that corn concoction. No,
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh. Strawberry cobbler is so good.
Hot strawberries,
Well, I ate it cold, but it was still good.
but
Well,
you had to
I
bake
just.
it. No, 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 no.
Okay, I just had my first ever jelly cake. Have you ever had one of those?
A jelly cake.
Yeah,
What is that?
a cake with jelly on it.
Like jam? Like grape jam?
No, like apple jelly. I mean, you could put the other jellies on there, but it's not gonna taste right. You gotta do apple jelly.
Like, tell me
So
what
it's
is
like a
it? Like,
regular. Okay, so you can either do a pineapple cake, like a pineapple flavored cake, or just a plain white or yellow cake or whatever. You bake it just like you would bake a 2-layer cake, and then you take the jelly and you just spread it over there like icing. And you poke, well, and my grandmother said you have to poke holes in it so that some of the jelly will seep down into the cake. But you have to put it on there while it's hot or semi-hot. And that's your jelly cake. I tried that and I was like, this is good. I don't know what poor person said this is a cake, but this cake is diabetes and delicious. And I love it. But anyways.
mm-mm. I've had cakes with fillings, but that does not sound like what you're saying. That sounds
No.
like something different because we weren't poking holes in the cake. It's just you put it in between the layers.
Yeah, you just layer it like icing, regular icing. You just use the jelly like icing.
No, you still had frosting on the cake. You just had filling between the layers.
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is different. No, I've never had that. And it's definitely not something out of a jar. It's like you have to make it.
The jelly, no. The jelly you can get out of the jar.
Yeah, no, we're talking about two different things. No, I've never had that before. A jelly cake.
A jelly cake. And I was like, this could be good as a morning tea dish or a morning coffee dish.
Yeah, that sounds like a breakfast.
Yeah. It's yeah. I was like, but it tastes good in the evening too, so I'm just saying it's not a bad cake. But anyways, excuse me, I think we've covered. Oh, I didn't tell you what pie. I did. I said pecan pie was my favorite. My brother makes apple pie. And his is good. Sweet potato pie is like in order of pies that I eat at Thanksgiving is pecan, apple, then sweet potato. Sweet potato is my least favorite.
Yeah, like sweet potato pie is something I would, when somebody brings it that you actually like, and they were like, "Hey, I made this sweet potato pie. Like, let me just get a little bitty slice so I can just taste it for you, and make you happy."
Yeah, I eat it from my mom just because it's nostalgia, but I don't eat it because I want it.
Yeah, like if I have a taste for some sweets, eating a potato ain't it.
No, it sure ain't.
Like a potato, I don't care how much sugar you put in it, it's a potato. It's a potato puree.
Yeah, that's it. That's
It's
it.
it's not checking off any of my sweet tooth boxes.
No, but a
I'd rather
pecan.
eat candied yams than sweet potato pie.
Do what?
I would rather eat candied yams before I eat sweet potato pie.
It's literally almost the same thing.
No, for some reason, I thought because there's so many spices in a sweet potato pie, it kind of cuts down on the sweetness. I don't know. I think people put more sugar in. I don't know, but if I want
You
a
put more
dessert,
sugar on the yams than you do the sweet potato. Yeah.
So yeah, if I have a sweet tooth, and if the only thing left in the world was sweet potato pie and candied yams, I would have to go for the yams.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat that You just send me a German chocolate cake.
Yes, I made it this weekend
And you brought me none. Okay.
for the. But you just said you don't like to eat it though.
Well, because the icing, like the coconut stuff on
Yeah,
top, I could
it's
never
in
get,
it.
yeah, I can't, but I like coconut, but I just think there's too much on it. That's it.
Oh my
But
gosh!
that looks amazing.
But
I'll have to
it was my
post
first
this.
time making it. I was so excited. I was like, I did. I made it for my father-in-law's birthday. That's
It,
his favorite cake.
uh,
It took me 4 hours.
I can see why. It looks good. You say you're not crafty, but you have a
I like
crafty.
to bake. No, I love to bake. That's my place. So I would spend 4 hours on a cake before I spent 4 hours standing in a bed.
I didn't spend 4 hours. I spent two.
So you spent 24 hours getting this bed together. But I'm trying to think of anything else that we, just typical. Fish. Do you all have fish?
No. Now, if it was a
Okay.
bigger gathering, probably, but not for this, not for our immediate. No.
Okay, yeah, and I was thinking more so like way back in the day when it was like all my aunts, all my uncles, all my
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Almost
like to
like a
have.
family reunion. Like,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was like regular Thanksgiving for us until my grandparents passed away.
Yeah.
Let me see. Mm, I'm literally looking at my plate like, what else is going on my plate?
Yeah. So I was envisioning my plate trying to figure out what else is on there, but I think that's pretty much it for me. But I am pretty cut and dry when it comes down to Thanksgiving stuff because when you work out in the real world and before you realize you shouldn't eat everybody's food,
Mm-hmm.
and you see
Mm-hmm.
certain things and you're like, oh wow, that's interesting, maybe I should try this.
Mm-mm.
And you're like, no, this does not go well with what I just ate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, no, I'm pretty simple when it comes down to the festivities as far as the food. It's not, no baked
Okay.
bean, unless, like I said,
Oh
it's
yeah, we're
a,
not eating baked beans.
but if you're having ribs and someone's like, oh, we're grilling out for that, then
Oh,
yeah, you
then
gotta
I
have
guess
your,
it could go. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we're having like, because it's 9 times out of 10, it's literally five entrees. You have barbecue, you have the traditional, and then you might have something else off to the sides, but it's, or the fried chicken or the fish, like you said, like you have
Mm-hmm.
all these different meats that come, but you're not necessarily eating from all of that. You know what I'm saying? You might come
Yeah.
back to it, but you have these different,
That was my
entrees.
uncles. My uncles would come through and get a barbecue plate, and then they would come back through and get a traditional plate.
Oh my gosh. See, and I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so like if it was a big, big family gathering, because you need that food. You need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just have turkey and expect it to feed 30 people. No, that's not
Right.
happening. You gotta have your ribs, or you gotta have your fried chicken or your smoked chicken, or your ham and stuff like you have to have all of that to go with what you're eating. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, mm, just depends. Everybody has their different way of doing things. So, do you
True.
mind if this episode goes up tomorrow
No,
versus the other one?
nope. I'm fine with that. But it's one thing we did not talk about that's very important
What's
to a
that?
traditional Thanksgiving dinner: the breads.
Oh, yes. I said it in a rush, but I didn't.
You gotta
Okay.
have
Yeah.
cornbread.
Who?
Cornbread.
Why?
I don't know, and it's in the dressing. I get it,
Doesn't
but
say why.
you still gotta have cornbread. And some people do the skillet cornbread where they cut it in slices like a slice like pizza. Some people do muffins. Some people do dinner rolls. Others might do the King's Hawaiian rolls. Some people do, as they call it, hot water cornbread. Others might do hoe cakes. It just depends on the person or the family that's doing it. And if you have barbecue, you gotta have white bread.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Or if you have fish, you're gonna just have just a loaf of white bread, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't eat, but you gotta have it.
Well, you didn't say
Um,
yeast rolls.
Oh, now that used to be my specialty. I ought to make some this year. Thank you so much.
Well, now you're gonna be busy tomorrow, big time.
Oh yeah, I gotta bake a pound cake and a banana pudding. So might as well throw some yeast rolls. I think I'm gonna make some. Thank you for the inspiration.
Well, you're welcome. I have some yeast if you want some.
I
Uh,
actually have some packets. I have 3 of them still stuck. I need to make sure they haven't expired. But yeah, yeast rolls are delish too. So
well,
there you go.
we're doing the frozen one because I'm not making regular
Oh,
yeast
those
rolls.
Sister Schuberts.
Yep. That's it. Hey, Sister Schubert, you need a sponsor. We got you over here.
Sister Schubert.
I love those dinner rolls and those yeast rolls. They are my
They
favorite.
are like the pop up, the pop. What do they call them? Yeah, the pop ups.
The little thing in the tin.
No, those are good too. But Sister Schubert's also has the individual rolls. You can just kind of grab a few out of the bag.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Those are the ones I'm thinking about for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Ooh, them are some
But
good ones.
yes, but they have the ones in the tin like a little pan with this.
Mm-hmm.
Those are called Parker House rolls. Those are good too.
Oh
That's what she
man.
first came out with. But I'm talking about the ones. It's like they were baked in a muffin pan, but they're called popovers.
I've never had those.
Yeah, it's like they're yeast rolls, but they're just stuck. It's like when you pull them apart, it's like 3 sections. But yeah, they're yeast rolls, but you bake them in a muffin tin.
Huh.
Those are good
Interesting.
too. But thinking of rolls, remember back in the day before Sister Schubert's and before um the Hawaiian and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember old school's that rectangle pan with those rectangle bread, like the little rolls in there, they all stuck together. You used to put some butter on top and pop them in the oven. Do you remember those? They were like 99 cents for the
Yes. I
I
think
hated
about them real hard. I was like, wait a
I
minute, what is you
hated
talking about?
those rolls. I hated those rolls. They were always too brown on the top, and that reminded me of crust, and I don't like crust.
Mm,
So I would
I
just
didn't
eat all the
mind it.
butts off. I was like, let me just bite the butts and throw the tops away because I'm not eating this. This is horrible.
Oh my gosh, that was some good rolls. That was all right.
They were at 99 cents.
Well, do what you can. Do what
I
you
just rather
can.
not have any bread. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
there
gosh,
you
you
go. You have to make
cannot
sure.
not have bread at Thanksgiving meals.
No, even
Actually, any, well, not any meal, but any special meal.
yeah. So I just could not bring that up because we would do Thanksgiving dinner an injustice if we did not bring up the bread.
The roll, yeah, the red
Yeah,
rolls.
and every culture has a bread.
That is true. It's funny when I met your cousin. They every time I came over to their house to, it was around dinner time. They'd be eating. They would always have some kind of bread with their dinner, and I'm going, why do y'all have bread with every meal? I don't understand this. And they're like, that's just what we do. And I'm going, but why? Why? Why do you have to have a
Because you
biscuit?
have to.
No, I didn't understand. Because I'm thinking you normally only had bread when it was a special, like huge Sunday dinner or something like that. You don't have it with every
Oh,
meal. You just don't.
yeah, I grew up with it. And that's how my dad grew up.
Hmm.
That you had to have bread at every meal. And so that's something I was used to. But my mom didn't, but she knew he liked it, so she did it. So that's
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do because when your cousin cooks, when we first got married, when he would cook, he would always like can of biscuits or rolls or something like that. I'm like, why are we having biscuits with dinner? Like biscuits is for, and he'd always get the butter flaky. It was a butter flaky, and I'm like, why?
Well, I mean, that's his way of, putting a
That,
bread. But I do that, to be honest. And my husband's like, no, I don't need any bread. Like today we had spaghetti, salad, a
garlic bread
garlic
goes with
bread is
that.
not right. Or
Yeah.
if you have fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans, you can do a dinner roll or a biscuit.
Eh, give or take. You don't have to.
I mean, I'm not doing butter flaky. I'm talking about like a real biscuit. But I mean, if you think about all
Yeah.
the fried chicken places, every fried chicken place has a biscuit
Which why? Why do you
because you gotta have a biscuit with some chicken. That's just chicken and biscuits. So there you go.
Oh my god, I just never understood why. Like I said, it's like a roll was a special thing. It wasn't a.
Oh no. So that
It
to me,
was
that's just common. That's just regular. That's why King's Hawaiian rolls can't stay on the shelf. People eat them all the time.
I mean, the most unhealthiest bread, but the most
It's so
delicious
good.
bread.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to King's Hawaiian and Sister Schubert. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm making a cauliflower curry soup tomorrow.
Okay,
and I
but
serve it
my pork soup is a problem, but you can make cauliflower
curry. I mean,
curry.
that's normal. That's normal. Nobody
How?
puts Boston butt in a soup. Like, you smoke it and put it on a sandwich with some barbecue sauce.
Oh my gosh. Well, tonight
But anyway,
we had it and it was good. So, and we had it with
and
Jiffy
you had
cornbread
muffins with it. So
I
you
sure
had
did.
bread with it. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's
But I was
different.
gonna say,
That's fine.
I'm gonna make like a cauliflower curry soup, and on the side I serve it with naan and hummus. So it's still a bread.
I don't understand. You have to send me a picture of the cauliflower curry. I've never heard. Like, I just made curry like last week, and it was the hottest curry I've never had curry, but it was very hot curry.
Oh, you must have had the Jamaican curry. That's delish.
Well, it was called coconut curry, so even though it didn't taste like coconut, which was a good thing. It was a good thing. I was glad it didn't taste like coconut, because I don't know if I'd been able to handle that. But it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was just, I've never heard of a curry soup, so I just want to know what it looks like.
Sure, I'll send it to you. But yeah, bread goes with everything. Like I said, every culture has bread, whether it's tortilla, or cornbread, hamburger buns. What else we got? Let's see. When you eat Asian dishes, egg rolls.
She went.
Can I go there? Like, I don't know.
That's why I was like, you really went there. I was like, I don't even think, but okay.
I'm thinking if I have like Chinese food, I'll just get egg roll with it.
I don't know.
I don't know if they have no bread though.
But I do know that they have rolls,
egg rolls, I guess,
of some sort with their food.
That's all I ever got was an egg roll. They didn't offer me that. But hey.
A mess. But the moral of today's story:
eat bread with your meals. Don't eat corn concoctions.
Corn casserole.
That's what I said. Concoction.
And I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. More of today's story.
Don't give the pastor a pencil.
Make him sleep in a twin bed. And get your sleep.
After you eat a Thanksgiving dinner, a twin bed is the last thing you need to sleep in, because you're going to fall out.
You're going to fall out.
Just lay on the floor. Just start off where you're going to end up anyway. Just go on and get on the floor.
But get your sleep anyway, because that, if you eat turkey, them enzymes from that turkey gonna knock you out.
Cold.
Take you out. But anyways, it's always good talking to you. Let me pull this all-nighter real quick. So
thanks for doing it for the cause, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hey, did you enjoy that podcast? So did we. Check us out for our most recent updates on IG at City Country Chicks Podcast.